We didn't stop just at that event. We took some time out to speak with some experts at the University of Lagos on some of their research work on human activities on the Lagos Lagoon and other water bodies in the state.
The ocean covers almost 3/4 of our planet. Populations in coastal regions are growing and placing increasing pressure on coastal and marine ecosystems. Marine population of many kinds threaten the health of the ocean and its living resources. Because of this, we visited the Faculty of Science at the University of Lagos, where we met with experts at various departments to seek their opinion on what is actually going on in our water bodies.
Lagos is a coastal city. It means that because of its proximity to the lagoon more or less serves as a sink for the city. What this means is that most of our waste, be it domestic and industrial, end up in the lagoon because people still see the lagoon as a vast place to dump things. Especially during rainfall events. When rain falls, whatever we have in our drainages, starting from our homes, the drainages are linked to major gutters, and at the end of the day, into the creeks, they all end up in the lagoon. So most of the waste we generate, be it domestic, industrial, or even on the road, whether intentionally or unintentionally, we end up being washed into our major drainages, and at the end of the day, we end up in the lagoon.
Human activities, or what you call anthropogenic stressors, could come in many ways. They could come from industrial wastewaters, they could come from industries, they could come from domestic concerns, metropolitan waste, they could come from hazardous compounds, chemicals, and all these run into the aquatic environment. It's important to note that the aquatic environment is the lowest point in every environment. So all waters gravitate to it, they flow towards it with their content. So if you were to drop a piece of uneaten food somewhere, when it rains, the water is going to take it and flush it into the gutters that lead into the creeks, that lead into the rivers and the lagoons or estuaries, eventually to the sea.
How far it is to human beings, the further away, the better. Because when it is close to human beings, there will be human activities. And if it is Lagos, the one we are aware of, is a lot of, apart from the waste, human waste, which can be in the various form, because what you are going to bring out depends on what you have ingested.
And in these times where we're talking about pollution, climate change, global warming, and ozone layer depletion, a lot of those bottles are made of chlorofluorocarbons, and they don't biodegrade easily, and eventually they affect the ozone layer, causing ozone layer depletion. These bottles and other activities that we carry out have what we call polyaromatic hydrocarbons. They don't biodegrade. They are there for thousands of years. They don't break down. And so eventually they go off into the Lagos Lagoon, and they are taken up by fishes. And you know, fishes, because they have a lot of fats in their system, they're able to store up these pollutants, and eventually they come back to us.
We met with Dr. Are Lawal of the Marine Department, University of Lagos.
Shellfishes are marine resources that are present in the aquatic environment. So if there is any pollution in the environment, they feel it first before even we humans get to have the feel of it too. Really, the shellfishes are even more than the fish because they inhabit the water body. They inhabit also the sedimental part of the sediment of the water body. That is, they have relationship with the sediment of the ocean. They stay at the bottom of the ocean, so they live in or associated with the water sediments. So the concentration we are also pollution indicators. If the environment in which they live is highly polluted, there will be problem for their continuity.
The oceans face serious challenges that threaten the sustainability of marine life. In the past decades, there have been efforts at the local, national and international levels to address the problems of marine population, but more needs to be done. Numerous forms of pollution from a variety of land, sea and air-based sources undermine the health of the ocean. Of these sources, it is estimated that 80% of marine pollution originates from the land. Two of the most prevalent types of marine pollution are nutrient pollution and marine debris. Nutrient pollution emanates from diverse sources and overloads marine environments with high concentrations of nitrogen, phosphorus and other nutrients, which can produce large algal blooms.
Nutrient pollution is very notorious, particularly in our day, because a large, or if you like, significant amount of household or domestic and even industrial waste and contaminants are nutrient-based. They are other biodegradable products, organic materials, that ends up becoming nitrates, sulfates, phosphate-based materials within the waters. In the waters, particularly when they get into the aquatic ecosystem through creeks or stormwater drains or what we call gutters, rivers, rivulets, they get into lagoons and our coastal water bodies, and they increase the level of nutrients in this aquatic ecosystem. Now, the first organism to pick them up are the phytoplankton. They are the base of the aquatic food chain. It impacts them directly, and they multiply or bloom, if you like, and this bloom can have positive and negative effect, usually negative effect, because they can actually lead to the death of other fish and fisheries and other aquatic life in water.
The decomposition of these algae after they die consume oxygen, which in turn create hypoxic or oxygen-pelated dead zones where fish and other marine life cannot thrive. An estimated 500 dead zones now exist in the world, and many more areas suffer adverse effects of high nutrient pollution. Marine debris, thrash and other solid materials that enter the ocean threaten wildlife and marine habitats and present health and safety concerns for humans. Trash and debris in coastal and ocean ecosystems also pose safety hazards and impose significant direct and indirect costs to society. Plastics consistently make up a significant percentage of all marine trash.
First and foremost, you and I need to change our habits, not to throw away things recklessly or with reckless abandon. The organizations, especially those that are close to the water courses, they also need to do more in ensuring that the activities do not end up in the water bodies.
The laws are there, but we need to urge our people to be self-compliant. We want them to comply without us coming to enforce the laws. We want to engender self-compliance of our laws, of the provisions of our laws. And we also want to enlighten them, especially on the ill effects of such practices, especially as it relates to flooding, because if you dump into our drains, it could result into flooding. If you dump into our waterways, some of the fishes may take it up, and we will also ingest such contaminated fish, which may cause ill health. And then you also know that these things also affect the boats and the canoes that ply such waterways.